Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So reports now are coming out in relation to Ole Gunnar Solsjaker report, because obviously he's making plans for the summer of course as well, and it's very essential at Manchester United, get the right players who've got the ability, as I did say, to elevate Manchester United in the next 2 to 3 years of course as well. And it's good that Ole Gunnar Solsjaker is monitoring an interest in quite a few young players of course as well, and I think he's been interested in quite a few British players as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as we all know as well. But it does seem to be a lot of the experienced players that do seem to be causing Manchester United the problems as well. So potentially Solskjaer's identified the key areas where he thinks Manchester United needs strengths up. So potentially for me, we do need a right back, we need a central defender, someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof. We do need someone on that right wing, and that's obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority. And I think potentially we do need some new additions into the midfield. Someone that can go alongside the likes of Pogba, whose future's up in the air, and go alongside Matic, of course. And I think we need a centre defensive midfielder, that's fast and tenacious, of course, as well. So potentially, reportedly, Solskjaer, he's demanding that. Reportedly, he wants 3 of England's youngest upcoming prospects, reportedly. So reportedly, he wants Callum Hudson from Chelsea. Reportedly, he wants Declan Rice from West Ham, and of course, he wants Crystal Palace's Aaron Bissaka, of course, as well. And as I was speaking, and I think he's lining up bids, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And of course, they're all British and they're all young, of course, as well. And I think they've got the ability to elevate Manchester United in the next 2 to 3 years, of course, as well. So potentially, as I was saying, I was speaking to you guys, about Manchester United, spending the money wisely in the summer. Reportedly, I think Solskjaer's going to get around over £200 million to spend this summer, of course, as well. The most essential thing is we've got to hire a director of football to come in, to change the club structure and all that. And it's good that obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's making plans now for the summer, because he's been speaking with Ed Woodward what players should stay, what players should go, and what players, of course, should come in, of course, as well. So it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is emphasising his targets, which is very good indeed. So potentially, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to build a team worthy of our history, of course, as well. So Solskjaer is looking to build a team worthy of our history, as we all know, as well. So potentially, guys, as I'm basically saying to you guys, so reportedly Solskjaer wants Callum Hudson-Odoi, reportedly he wants Aaron Bissaka, and reportedly he wants Declan Rice, of course, as well. As I did say, I was talking about, should Man United spend this money wisely in the summer, because potentially Aaron Bissaka is rated at around 35 million, maybe 40 million. Declan Rice, he's probably valued at around £40 million, and also to Callum Hudson-Odoi, probably rated at around £40 million. I don't really see us getting Callum Hudson-Odoi in the summer, but you think about it, that's probably about 120 million on 3 players, of course, as well, because we do know that it's going to cost us a lot of money, to get Jadon Sancho. He'll cost Manchester United around £100 million, something like that. Rafael Varane will cost us around 100 million. You've got Saul Niguez, who's on Manchester United's agenda now. He's going to cost around £128 million as well, because obviously, that's his release clause, of course, as well. But for me, potentially Solskjaer wants to bring about 5 new additions into the club this summer. As reports are coming out yesterday, I think he's expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out, and we did this back, when we had Louis van Gaal, of course, well. So I think he's ready to sanction around 6 players off his Solskjaer as well. But potentially for me, I think Aaron Bissaka is good, and I think he'd be a perfect successor, to Antonio Valencia, in my opinion, because I do think we need someone young and ambitious on that right hand side. If I'm going to be quite honest with you as well, because these deficiencies in the squad, as we all know, and potentially we do need a right back. He's 21 years of age. He's one of England's youngest upcoming talents, as well as Aaron Bissaka. Obviously, only broke into the first team last year with Crystal Palace, of course, as well. Manchester United reports were coming out saying that Man United are reportedly lining up around a £35 million bid for him. I think he's, as I did say, I think he's valued at around £40 million. Is Aaron Bissaka, of course, as well. But I think his defensive capabilities are very good, and reportedly his performances for Crystal Palace have been good. I think he's made about 34 appearances for Crystal Palace, or something like that, as Aaron Bissaka, of course, as well, because it's looking like, obviously, Valencia's on his way out of Manchester United in the summer. Obviously, he's been here 10 years, he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions, he's won everything here domestically as well, but it's looking likely he's on his way out in the summer. And of course, Antonio Valencia is about 33 years of age now, and he's won everything here domestically, as I said. We've got Ashley Young, of course, for me, was a good winner, back in the day, of course, as well. But Ashley Young has really passed it now. He's 33. By the time his new 1 year, extension expires, Ashley Young will be nearly 35 years of age, of course. And I think he's getting exploited far too easily, of course. And I just think he's past it now, Ashley Young. So we do need an upgrade at that full-back position, of course, as well. But reportedly, Manchester United have targeted Aaron Bissaka. And for me, Declan Rice, I think would be a good addition to the team, of course, as well. He's mainly a holding midfielder, but he can actually operate as a centre-back as well. He's only 20 years of age, he's Declan Rice, as we all know as well. He's 20 years of age, one of England's youngest upcoming talents. Reportedly, he's had a great season this season with West Ham. He's got a long contract with West Ham. I think he's under contract till 2024. I think he signed this new deal back in December, of course, as well, did Declan Rice. But reportedly, Manchester United have showed an interest in him, and we do need a centre defensive midfielder, that's fast and tenacious, of course, because we've got Matic there. For me, Matic's performances overall have improved under Solskjaer, but since he's recovered from injury, his performances haven't been up to scratch, and that's why he got dropped against Wolves, to be quite honest. So, of course, he's aging up, he's slow, I've got strong reservations about him, so we need a CDM, that's fast and tenacious, of course, as well. And Declan Rice is a holding midfielder, as we all know, as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi, one of England's youngest upcoming talents as well. Reportedly, Solskjaer wants him. Reports are coming out a couple of weeks back, that Man United entered the race, for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and obviously Solskjaer's priority is to recommend a winner to come in the summer. Callum Hudson-Odoi can play as a winner. He can also actually, play as a forward as well, but I think it'll be in jeopardy, Man United, coming to an agreement to get him in the summer, to be quite honest. I think it'll look like it's in jeopardy, to be quite honest, because I don't really see Chelsea getting rid of him, to be quite honest with you, considering Chelsea have got a transfer ban and all that, and he's only 18 years of age, and I think from the own player's perspective, I think he's keen on leaving Chelsea, because actually he put a transfer request back in January, because Bayern Munich, had held talks. Bayern Munich had a host of bids, turned down for him in January. Bayern Munich willing to offer him the number 10 shirt, because Bayern Munich have got a host of experienced players in their squad, so they're looking to get some young individuals into their team, and that's why their top priority back in January was Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. But Chelsea were reluctant to let him leave, of course, as well. Maybe Bayern Munich may revive their interest this summer, but it said Man United have been interested. Liverpool have also held negotiations with his agent, of course. I think recently he just made his first Premier League start, of course, well, but I still think he's got strong reservations about his game time as Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. It has indicated he's nowhere near in the process of signing a new contract at the moment. Chelsea have tried to convince him to sign a new contract, of course, as well, but he still remains under contract with Chelsea till 2020, as we all know, as well. So he still may demand he may want to leave in the summer. Reports came out the other week, Chelsea demanding that they want around £43 million if they are willing to do any business, for Callum Hudson-Odoi. But you think about that trio, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Bissaka, Declan Rice and Callum Hudson-Odoi. They'd probably cost us for the free probably about £120 million at the top, and rather than just paying £100 million for one player, that's what it's going to cost us for the likes of Jadon Sancho and all that. We've seen Manchester United, spend quite a lot of money on one player. We did it with Lukaku for 75 million. We did it with Pogba for 89 million, of course. We've spent a hell of a lot of money since Ferguson retired. Nearly £700 million has been spent. We've had different managers, with different philosophies, of course, as well. And probably, the players that we did buy, with the money we spent, he's probably gone on 90% of the wrong players, to be quite honest with you, with the wrong mentality. But players have come in, players have left, as we all know, as well. And, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, don't forget. Obviously, he's inheriting 11 of Jose Mourinho's players. Jose Mourinho spent just under, I think, £400 million, of course, as well. It's amazing how he's rejuvenated, the team. There's still some players here from Louis van Gaal, of course, as well. So potentially, guys, as we all know, investment is needed into Manchester United in the summer, if we want to be up there, competing, of course, as well. And obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, obviously, expectation levels, will be to get us back up there, challenging and winning trophies, of course, and get us back to being the powerhouse, we was under Alex Ferguson, of course, as well. So it's essential that we get the right recruitment in the summer. Obviously, there's still lots of work to be done, of course. I think for us to have any chance of finishing in the top 4 this season, we've got to win 5 of our remaining 6 games, as actually, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. And obviously we want Champions League football for next season. If you want to get the players to the highest level or quality, you want to be involved in Champions League football. In that aspect, it'll make us have more of a competitive summer transfer window. But the good thing is, it's good that Solskjaer's targeting quite a few young players. They're all British as well, of course, as well. So reportedly Solskjaer wants Bissaka, he wants Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he wants Declan Rice, of course, as well. And as I've been updating you guys, of course, as well today in the media, as I said, in relation to Eric Bailly, because obviously his future is uncertain with Manchester United, as we all know. If Manchester United do get a new centre-back in this summer, his future could, new centre-back in this summer, Eric Bailly could well leave Manchester United this summer, of course, because Eric Bailly, of course, has been in and out of the team, this season for Manchester United. The likes of Smalling and Jones have been first choice ahead of Eric Bailly, of course, as well. And as I updated you on my earlier video today, of course, it has said said that reportedly Real Madrid are reportedly, you know, interested in Eric Bailly. Reportedly, I think Eric Bailly is injured at the moment, if I'm quite sure. He's sustained, you know, quite a few injuries. But it said Real Madrid are reportedly interested. Real Madrid are lining up a £35 million bid for Eric Bailly, because reportedly Zinedine Zidane has informed Real Madrid that he wants Real Madrid to bring Eric Bailly to their club this summer, reportedly as well. But Zinedine Zidane, of course, this is now his second spell in charge of Real Madrid. Probably maybe a player or two is going to leave Real Madrid this summer, of course, as well. So obviously he's planning for an investment this summer, Zinedine Zidane. He's got quite a few targets, you know, on his radar, as we all know. He's obviously contracted there until 2022. One of his targets is Pogba. Obviously Eden Hazard's a Real Madrid target, as we all know. I think Mbappe, as I just said. I think Mane has been a target for them. But reportedly they have, and Pogba as well, but reportedly they have showed an interest in Eric Bailly. And Eric Bailly has been good for Manchester United, you know, and I still highly rate him. You know, he's got great potential, as we all know, as well. But reports coming out saying that Real Madrid are preparing to put a £35 million bid in for the Ivory Coast, and as well, reportedly. But Manchester United could reportedly demand Rafael Varane, reportedly, as part of the deal, of course, as well, because obviously he's been a potential Manchester United target. Eric Bailly, of course, obviously has had experience of playing in Spain, as we all currently know, you know, because he was at Villarreal, you know, back in 2016. Well, he was at Villarreal. Manchester United bought him in 2016 from Villarreal. I think we paid around, what, £35 million to Man United, you know, may recoup, you know, may recoup, you know, of what we paid for him, or maybe get a bit more than what we currently paid for him, of course, as well. But actually, he was one of Jose Mourinho's first signings, was Eric Bailly, of course, as well. So reportedly, Real Madrid have reportedly, you know, showed an interest in him, as well, reportedly. And potentially, yes, so as I did say, you know, Manchester United, you know, could demand Rafael Varane as part of the deal, reportedly as well, because I really, really like Rafael Varane. I think he'd be a great addition to our squad. I think he'd address our defensive deficiencies, you know, fantastically well. We do know he's going to cost us, you know, quite a bit of money, as we all know as well. I think it'll cost us around £100 million. Rafael Varane has obviously, you know, got a release clause of around £429 million in his current deal with Real Madrid. But it's remarkable what he's achieved. You know, he's 25 years of age. You know, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. Reports have been suggesting out from Spain that reportedly he's considering leaving Real Madrid this summer. Reportedly is Rafael Varane. Reports have been saying that, and reportedly Zinedine Zidane, you know, wouldn't want to lose Rafael Varane. As I did say, be a great addition to our squad. You know, he's got the ability to elevate Manchester United in the next 2 to 3 years, and he looked very, very good alongside Lindelof in our back line. Manchester United have reportedly been in talks to sign Rafael Varane from Real Madrid for around £100 million. Reportedly, he's still got a contract with Real Madrid till 2022. Obviously, he's been at Real Madrid 8 years now, of course, and I think he's won about 15, 16 major honours, something like that. He's made about 268 appearances in all competitions, but he's remained loyal at Real Madrid for around 8 years now, of course, as Rafael Varane. So I do really, really highly rate him. As I said, he's still got a contract till 2022. He spent the majority of his career in Spain. When he was a lot younger, you know, he actually began his career in France with Lens as well. But potentially, I think a few teams have been interested. It said PSG have been interested. Juventus have also been interested in the player, of course, as well. But I do really, really highly rate him, guys, you know, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, as well. So it would be great, you know, if Man United could come to an agreement to get him in the summer, of course, as well. And as I was saying, guys, you know, obviously we do know that, you know, we need some depth in that midfield, you know, to be quite honest with you, as well, because potentially we do know that Ander Herrera is probably on his way out of the club in the summer, and it's a shame, really, because he's been a good servant to Manchester United. He's made 187 appearances for the club as Ander Herrera. Reports have been coming out saying that reportedly he's agreed a deal to join PSG on a free at the end of the season. Reportedly, it's a 3-year deal worth around £200,000 a week, reportedly, as well. And I'm very disappointed about this, to be quite honest. I know there's better midfielders out there, you know, than Ander Herrera, of course. He's not a £200,000 a week player, of course, but Ander Herrera's been here 5 years, as we all know. And his performances have mainly improved under Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. He's tenacious, he's got a lot of tenacity by his play, he breaks up the play very, very well, and he's been fitting in that midfield trio very, very well, as Ander Herrera, of course, as well. The reason, well, Man United actually were locked in contract negotiations with Ander Herrera, but we couldn't commit him to sign a new contract because reportedly he was demanding, he wanted £200,000 a week wage demands. Manchester United reportedly, you know, were not willing to meet what he was demanding, so potentially that's made him make a decision on his future, and now I think he's going to PSG on a free in the summer. Manchester United paid £30 million for him from Atletico Bilbao back in 2014, of course, so you can say basically, you know, that's 30 million wasted. So you can say that's you know, that's a bit of a bad business, you know, to be quite honest with you, as well, from Manchester United, of course, as well. But potentially, you know, we've got to try and find a replacement for Ander Herrera, as we all currently know, as well. And potentially, you know, Sal Niguez, you know, do you think he'd be a good replacement for Ander Herrera? Saul Niguez is only 24 years of age, of course, as I've updated you about him. He's only 24. He's Spanish, of course, as well. He plays for them Atletico Madrid, as we all know. I think, he's spent the majority of his career with Atletico Madrid, originally up their youth system and all that. He's made about 200 appearances, for them Atletico Madrid, as well as Saul Niguez. But he's going to cost quite staggering amounts of money, because I think he's got, as I did say, he's got a release clause of around £128 million in his deal with Atletico Madrid, as we all know as well. It's also said that Man City have also showed an interest in the player as well. He can operate as a defensive mid, he can play as a central mid, he can operate on the right, so he's versatile as this player. He can operate as a number 6, he can operate as a number 8 as well. So there has been a lot of talks going on about him, and reportedly Saul Niguez does want to make the move to the Premier League, of course, as well. But again, only young, 24, but again, he's going to cost us, quite a bit of money, of course. So we probably may have to trigger his 128 million release clause in his deal with Atletico Madrid if we've got any chances of signing the player, of course, as well. And I think Verratti, would be a good idea replacement for Fernando Herrera, because I really like, Marco Verratti as well. But PSG, obviously wanting new additions in their midfield anywhere, as we all know, because obviously Thomas Tuchel's heading into his second season. Obviously, it's looking like Adrien Rabiot's on his way out this summer because his contract comes to an end this summer. So obviously, they want a replacement for Adrien Rabiot, and they've identified Ander Herrera. And obviously, Thomas Tuchel was looking for someone to partner alongside Verratti in their midfield, of course, as well. And potentially, they've identified Ander Herrera. So it's looking like Herrera is going to PSG. But we do need someone in that midfield who can partner alongside Pogba, who can partner alongside the Man United. So do you think Saul Niguez, would be the right candidate, of course, as well? And there's been talks, going on about Paul Pogba, as we all currently know as well. I think now Manchester United, I think his future's up in the air. His future still remains uncertain, but reportedly Manchester United are in talks to try and get Paul Pogba a new contract, of course, as well, because potentially now there's been a lot of speculation of him, being linked to a move to Real Madrid this summer, as we all know, because reports have been coming out from Spain, saying he wants to make a move to Madrid this summer. Reportedly, and he's spoken a lot about Real Madrid. He described them as a dream club and all that, and he admits playing for Zinedine Zidane, would be a dream for him, of course, as well. So he's been speaking a lot about Real Madrid as Paul Pogba. This could have concerns for Man United. This could have concerns for Ole Gunnar Solsjaker, of course, as well. But Ole Gunnar Solsjaker recently has had talks with Paul Pogba. He's also said, that Paul Pogba remains happy at Manchester United, and maybe Solskjaer thinks he's still got a big future at Manchester United, of course, as well. He's got a big future at Manchester United. Obviously, we paid £89 million for him, back in 2016, of course, as well. Obviously, our most expensive signing at the moment. Obviously, he's been heavily linked to a move to Real Madrid, of course. Zinedine Zidane's a big admirer of the player. Of course, obviously, his agent Rabiot's obviously been to Manchester to discuss the summer move for Pogba. He's had a couple of conversations with Real Madrid, to discuss the summer move for Pogba as well. So his agent Rabiot has been in the process of finding him a new club, of course, as well. But he's still got 2 years left on his deal with over 2 years left on his deal with Man United. He's still under contract till 2021, as we all know as well. But if any offers do come for Pogba this summer, I do think Manchester United are willing to turn down any offers, of course, as well. But if an agreement was to be made in the summer and he was to go to Madrid, Manchester United will probably demand around 150 million. Probably quite a bit of that money, would go to his agent Rabiot, of course, as well. But for me, I want to keep Paul Pogba. I do know he's been below par in the last couple of games, and Solskjaer, has been thinking about, rotating him and, considering a tactical switch for him, putting him, in more of a defensive role, to be quite honest with you, because he just hasn't performed, most recently as Paul Pogba. Overall, in this 3-month period or so, his performances have been fantastic under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got a good relationship with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Pogba. Obviously, Pogba didn't have a good relationship, when Jose Mourinho was here, and if Mourinho would have still been here, Pogba, potentially, probably would have left by now. And potentially, if he was to leave Man United this summer, he was also demanding a significant pay rise. Pogba, he was demanding around 14 million a year if he's to go to Madrid. So potentially this would make him the highest paid player, of course, at Madrid as well. But reportedly, Manchester United are reportedly now in contract negotiations, to try and convince Pogba to sign a new contract, of course, as well. So there has been a lot of talks, going on about that. And we do basically know, guys, as I currently said, the club's number one priority target is obviously, Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho, as we all know as well. But again, he's going to cost us around £100 million, of course. I do know he's a really, really good player. He's just turned 19 years of age again. British, one of England's youngest upcoming talents is Jadon Sancho. And I think he's the club's number one priority target, of course, as well. But potentially, I think Manchester United have to pay around £100 million for him. We do need someone on that right-hand side, that can play between the bylines, put crosses into the box. And I think Jadon Sancho is the right solution, to be quite honest, because he's proven himself fantastically well in Germany. Maybe Manchester United believe we could still get him for around £80 million or something like that as well, Jadon Sancho. But we could still end up paying the nine-figure sum of around 100 million. He's attracted interest from quite a few teams across Europe. I think PSG have been interested in him and all that. But I think, he may be keen on making a return to England because he's a former Man City player. He did serve a couple of years at Manchester City, but he never broke into the first team with Man City. Of course, he wasn't guaranteed to get regular first team football. This is the main reason why he left Manchester City, of course. Well, and Borussia Dortmund have been known for doing business with the players, of course, as well. Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for Manchester City a couple of years ago, as well. So financially, Borussia Dortmund did make a huge profit on the player. Borussia Dortmund do know how much of an essential player he is to their team. He's still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022, as Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. So potentially, I do really highly rate him. I think he'd be a great addition to our team. I think he'd link up well with the likes of Rashford and Martial in our front line, of course, as well. But potentially he's going to cost us up to £100 million. I did say we could get maybe 2 or 3 players for the price of around £100 million or just a bit more, of course, as well, rather than spending, staggering amounts of money on one player, as we all know, as well. And potentially, as I did say, Solskjaer's obviously, planning a big summer clear-out, as we all know, as well. So potentially, De Gea is yet to sign a new contract. Could he be possibly going? Valencia is definitely on his way out this summer. I want Ashley Young to leave. Rojo's probably on his way out this summer as well, because his career has been affected, the amount of injuries he suffered as a Manchester United player. I know he just recovered from long-term absence. Bailly's future, Bailly could leave this summer, as I've just said, especially if a new centre-back is to come in. I think Darmian, is going to leave this summer because he's enjoyed a very difficult time as a Manchester United player, of course, as Matteo Darmian. So I think he's on his way out of the club. Sanchez definitely on his way out of the club this summer, as well. As I do keep saying, it's going to be very difficult, for Manchester United to find a buy for Alexis Sanchez, considering his substantial wages he's on. And potentially, I think it's totally knackering our wage structure, considering, what Sanchez is on. Of course, you've got other players now demanding more money, such as De Gea and all that. Herrera was demanding more money, of course, as well. But Sanchez, obviously, is our highest paid player. Of course, he's the highest paid player in the Premier League, but he's been very inconsistent as a Manchester United player. And of course, he's 30 years of age now. He has lost that yard of pace, of course, as well as Alexis Sanchez, and he just hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system, when he has been given the opportunity, because when he's played, he just looks so restricted, looks as though he hasn't been getting that freedom, of course, as well. He was good when he was at Arsenal, but he just hasn't lived up to expectation levels at Manchester United, as we all know, as well. But potentially sustained quite a few injuries as Alexis Sanchez in just over the year that he's been here. Obviously, he's out now with a knee injury at the moment, of course, as well. So I think he's set to be in contention in April sometime, as well. He's set to be back in contention in April sometime, as well. But he's been very inconsistent for Man United. Man United may even loan him out this summer. Sanchez may even take some kind of wage cut. I do not know, to be quite honest with you, as well. So I think he's probably on his way out this summer, as well. And obviously, Lukaku, as I keep updating you about, Romelu Lukaku, potentially a lot of fans are saying he should be moved on in the summer as well. Maybe his agent may start negotiations and moving Lukaku on this summer, of course. Obviously, Manchester United paid £75 million for him from Everton a couple of years back. And to be fair, he scored a lot of goals for Manchester United, as we all currently know as well. But potentially for me, there is better out there than Lukaku. Lukaku, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's still got a really good pedigree in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku. But for me, people have got strong reservations about him. I think he does play well when someone's supporting him up front. To be quite honest with you, he looks more effective in his play and all that. But Lukaku, for me, his finishing is just not good enough. He doesn't get enough of them runs in behind. His first touch concerns me, and this is why I've got reservations about him. Even though he can score goals, he did really well before the international break. He was partnering up alongside Rashford very well in our front line, and he was playing really well. He was in good form. He was scoring goals and all that as well. But potentially for me, I think Man United may consider moving him on this summer, of course, as well. Same with Juan Mata. You've got Juan Mata as well. He's probably set to join Barcelona on the free this summer, because reports have been coming out saying that reportedly Barcelona are in talks to get him on a free transfer this summer. I think Manchester United have been in negotiations trying to get him a new contract. Obviously, we're not going to be willing to offer him a new long-term contract, considering that Juan Mata, of course, is age 30 now, as we all know, as well. But potentially, Juan Mata again's been a good servant to Manchester United. This is his 5th season now at Manchester United. He's Juan Mata, as we all know. We paid £40 million for him. And I think he's made about over 200 appearances for the club in all competitions. He's scored 50 goals in the Premier League. I think he's assisted the same amount, around 50 assists as well. So he has been consistent for Manchester United, but he is age 30 now, as we all know. All in all, he's been in the Premier League good, 7-8 years now. this is including his 3 years he had with Chelsea. Obviously, this is now his 5th season with Manchester United. And obviously, as a youngster, he had a lot of experience of playing in Spain, so he may want to, make a return back to Spain. This is why, potentially, Barcelona have been in talks to get him on a free transfer this summer. I think we paid around £40 million for him from Chelsea, back in 2014, of course, as well. But Juan Mata, as I said, he's not too long ago, he's just recovered from a hamstring injury, of course, as well. And he's a good player, Juan Mata. He is a good player, to be quite honest with you, as well. But he's age 30 now, and of course, he's aging up, as I said. But he had a lot of experience of playing in Spain when he was young, at Real Madrid, and then he played under Ryan at Valencia, for 4 years, of course. And he has won a lot of trophies as a player in the Premier League, He obviously, won the Champions League and that with Chelsea. He won trophies with Chelsea. He hasn't won the Premier League, Juan Mata, believe it or not. He actually hasn't won the Premier League, of course, and that's the only thing he has not won, Juan Mata, of course, as well. So potentially he could be going to Barcelona this summer, of course, as well. So yeah, I think, there's going to be a big clear out this summer, as we all know. And as I was saying to you guys, as I said, basically in that midfield, definitely new additions are needed in that midfield, because Matic is too slow, and I've got strong reservations about him, so we need a CDM. Maybe Saul Niguez would be a good addition, because he can operate as a defensive mid and a central mid, of course, but we're identifying him as a replacement for Fernando Herrera. Then you've got the fringe midfielders with the likes of, McTominay, Pereira, and Fred, of course, as well. And I think, McTominay and Pereira, when they did get given them opportunities, especially, when we had that injury crisis, they performed really, really well. But for me, I don't know if they've got the capabilities, to graduate to that level, of course, as well. And Fred, for me, I don't know if he's a long-term solution for Manchester United. I just haven't been really impressed with Fred, to be quite honest. He really hasn't had the chance, but when he has had the chance, I just haven't been impressed with him. He's done okay sometimes, but for me, I don't know if he's a long-term solution, to be quite honest. We were paid £47 million, was it, for him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk, or was it 50 million or something like that, as well. But we do need more quality in that midfield. And maybe Manchester United should be targeting, maybe monitoring, maybe targeting, box-to-box midfielders, of course, as well. So yeah, there's going to be a big summer clear out, as we all know. So yeah, guys, there's going to be a big summer clear out, as we all know, as well. But don't forget, Solskjaer's in contact, with Ed Woodward. What players should come in, what players should stay, and what players should leave, of course, as well. So reportedly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for me is the right man for Manchester United, without a shadow of a doubt. I do know the performances have been below par in the last 3 or 4 games or something. We've lost 3 out of his last 4 games, so we're in a bit of a bad run of form, to be quite honest with you, as well. But potentially, yeah, we've still got a great chance of getting top 4, as we all know. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows his club inside out, don't forget, he was a great servant and great player for 11 years, as we all know, won a lot of trophies, scored a lot of goals, as we all know as well. We do know he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree in terms of winning any major honours and all that. This team now, this day and age, he watched some of them grow and develop, when he was managing the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years, as well. And if it does go well in these 3 years and he gets the right recruitment in the summer, maybe he'll plan for a long tenure as Manchester United manager, of course, as well. But obviously, it's a tester for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, for the remainder of this season, then see who can get in the summer, and then a big tester for him is going to be next season. And if there's negative performances and results at the start of next season, then potentially questions will be asked, of course, as well. But for me, I still have a lot of belief in Solskjaer, of course, as well. So essentially, Solskjaer wants Callum Hudson-Odoi. Reportedly, he wants Callum Hudson-Odoi. He wants Bissaka, and he wants Declan Rice. But the number one priority target is Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. So it's good that he's tracking and interesting quite a few young players, British players. And Bissaka is actually rated as one of the top youngsters in the Premier League. I think so too is Declan Rice, to be quite honest with you as well. So it's good that he's attracting interest in young upcoming players, which is very, very good, of course. So he's interested in getting quite a few British players in, of course, as well. And obviously we've already got Rashford, who's young, and obviously he's English as well. But yeah, we'll see who can win in the summer. And if more things update, we will keep you up to date on that as well, guys. And there's also been talks about Coutinho going on as well. But for me, I don't think he's Man United's priority. I know there's been a lot of rumours going on about that. He could be available for around 100 or just over 100 million in the summer, of course, as well, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Barcelona, as we all know. He's been there about 15, 16 months now, as we all know. Said United were interested, PSG were interested. It said that Chelsea have also been interested in Coutinho, but I think he's informed a couple of his teammates that he could be on his way out of Barcelona this summer, of course, as well. He was good at Liverpool. He was a good servant at Liverpool. He did well at Liverpool, so in that aspect he's Premier League proven, but I think he's keen on making a return to the Premier League. But I don't really think Man United, that's not Man United's priority, Philippe Coutinho, of course, as well. But the rumours do continue to persist about Coutinho. Man United have contacted his agent, PSG have contacted his agent, Chelsea have also contacted his agent as well, so there has been negotiations going on as well. And he's attacking midfielder. He can actually play as a winger as well, but for me, I would probably want Coutinho at Manchester United. He's still 26, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's Brazilian, as we all know, as well. So Barcelona potentially, probably may consider selling him this summer. They're not going to recoup the initial 142 million they paid for him from Liverpool in January of last year, but they could still get a good £100 million for him, of course. Well, he's actually the third most expensive player in world football, behind Neymar and Mbappe, of course, as well. So for me, Manchester United should spend this money wisely in the summer. As a lot of Manchester United fans, have been saying, we should spend it wisely in the summer, not spend too much money, on one player. And potentially, we do know if we get 3 players for the price of 100 million or just over, we know that they're nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of the Jadon Sanchos or the Rafael Varans. They're nowhere near on the same level or calibre, but potentially, we could get 3 players for maybe just over £100 million. I did say, I'm Bissaka, 40 million, say 35-40 million, Declan Rice 40 million, and Callum Hudson probably 30-40 million. So there you go, it's about 120-130 million pounds or something like that on 3 players, of course, as well. But I don't see us getting Callum Hudson because I don't see Chelsea getting rid of him in the summer, of course, as well. So essentially, we didn't spend out in January either. We didn't hardly spend out last summer, so we've got to get the right players to Man United this summer. There's nothing much really more to say, as I said. But as I did say earlier on now, don't think I'll be able to do any more live streaming unless I maybe get a PC or something like that, because as I did say now, YouTube have updated something, as I said. I'm potentially now reportedly, you can only live stream now on a mobile device on YouTube if you've got 1,000 subscribers or more. If you've got less than 1,000 subscribers, you can't live stream, I'm afraid, reportedly. And I tried live stream last night. I tried live stream this morning. I didn't see the problem at the first, and then I googled it up and I saw a couple of people's videos explaining the reason what's happening with the live streaming. Now I think you've got to have 1,000 subscribers, of course, as well. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider a subscriber to my channel, as always, and take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon, guys. Thanks for watching.